Here we are on potential earlier closing day, January 22nd, Wednesday, 2025. This is going to be the final walkthrough. Nothing's really changed on the exterior so far. Got dents in the skirting. The plumbing is continuing to leak. And apparently it's just at the threads there. So in theory, if the threads get taped, that should potentially fix it. Do you have that? That's supposed to be taken care of. We can see that someone, I don't know what they were thinking, but that's got to be taken care of. Dents in the skirting, nothing new there. Already lifted this up. There's no hole or anything. It's just a piece of plywood laying on the ground. This is what's left of the tool shed. Or perhaps the seller just thought that would be sufficient, but the whole thing needs to be taken out. And wall mount ACs are still left behind. We were under the impression the seller was taking those. And water heater's not leaking. The fittings all look pretty good. You got some rust on the left side and some deposits on the right side. So something to be aware of. That's to stay. Oh, there we go. That's not going to cooperate, but we'll get to that later. This all looks dry over here. Last time we had water in these seams. So perhaps that was the rain, or more than likely it was just a water line that was leaking when the washer and dryer were originally pulled. Looks like everything's been capped. We're good to go there. Drain line. Then we had this pole to look underneath for the jacks. Then we'll start with the kitchen. This is dry to the touch, but still soft. Clearly wasn't fixed properly. But the faucet is dripping. No, still leaks. Just tighten down the handles, and it's still leaking there. It's light there. So it doesn't appear that there's any change. There's some rust there, some deposits on the water line. Same thing around the toilet. This area is said to be the source of leak right in there, but obviously it hasn't been used. With this too, faucet's continuing to drip and leak. So I don't think that's gonna fix it. So we got two faucets that are actively leaking. We already have the water damage noted. Doesn't look to be any different. Again, this is the wall mount, to my understanding, that was supposed to be taken, but that could be simply yanked out if needed. Nothing new there. Electrical panel. There's a breaker on the side. I wonder why they've always had these windows open.
I wonder too. I'll close them, but yeah.
And that the top portion's still soft but dry now. Obviously, it hasn't rained in a while. And we've got the portion out here that's soft. Right there, that's a major weak point. We've got the other wall mount air conditioner. And so far, everything's as the same. Everything's intact as it was. Again, we've got the paint overspray on the plastics. Why someone didn't even tape up is beyond me. Again, everything looks the same. No water leaks. Nothing at least different than what it was before. That wood's water damage right there, but again, that was as it was before. And then everything looks the same in here as well. Faucet's dry, unlike the others. And that one's not leaking either. Overall, no changes. Nothing to note that's any different. Of course, it hasn't rained since then, so there's nothing to really put the house to the test. But everything is as it was, nothing different.